This gives us a feeling of coolness. You might have wondered why particular types of clothes are suitable for particular season. In winter, you feel cold inside the house. If you come out in the sun, you feel warm. In summer, you feel hot even inside the house. How do we know whether an object is hot or cold? How do we find out how hot or cold an object is? In this chapter, we shall try to see answers to some of these questions.
Okay, so what they have told everyone. So as you have known that whatever the cloth we get, yes, so that is not but a woven cloth. Okay, from where we get it from animal fibers. So cotton clothes, they are made from plant fibers, and we wear woolen clothes when we wear it in winter season. Okay, so what does woolen cloth does? It keeps us warm. Yes, and when we wear light color clothes, at that time what happens? We feel When we feel very hot, we usually wear light color clothes. That is during the summer season, and it will give us the coolness. Yes, so whatever we need in that particular season, we wear the favorable clothes. Yes, if it is a summer season, would you wear woolen clothes and sit in the house?
No, ma'am.
Obviously no, right? So in winter, you feel cold inside the house. If you come out in the sun, you feel very warm. Well, when it happens in the summer season. So it is very hot in the inside the house as well as outside the house. So how we define what is a cold object and what is a hot object, we are going to see that. Okay. So in a day-to-day life, we come across number of objects. So some are hot, some are cold. For example, tea is very hot and ice is very cold. So you have to list the things accordingly in table 4.1. Okay. Savi, can you start reading? Do not touch.
Do not touch objects which are too hot. Be careful while handling a candle flame or a stove. We see that some objects are cold while some are hot. You also know that some objects are hotter than others while some are colder than others. How do we decide which object is hotter than the other? We often do it by touching the object, but is our sense of touch reliable? Let us
Reliable.
find out.
So what they have told, many a times you can touch the object, yes, and you can feel whether it is hot or whether it is cold. So by sensing it, you can understand. But is it every time reliable? Like, is it every time useful? For example, if you have got fever, okay, and your mother comes and touches your forehead, and she just feels that you are having a temperature, but can she tell you exactly what degree farad you are having the temperature? Yes, can she calculate it just by feeling you?
No, ma'am.
Obviously not. So what is used over there, Savi? What we use to measure the temperature of the
Ma'am,
body?
thermometer.
Very good. So we are going to learn about thermometer today in the class. Chalo. Next. So there is a small activity. Yes, Pearl, can you read the activity?
Yes, ma'am. Activity 4.1. Take three large mugs. Label them as A, B, and C. Put cold water in mug A and hot water in mug B. Mix up cold. Ma'am, can you scroll? Mix some cold and hot water in mug C. Now dip your left hand in mug A and right hand in mug B. After keeping the hands in two mugs for 2 to 3 minutes, put both the hands simultaneously in mug C. Figure 4.1. Do both the hands get the same feeling? Bujo is confused. Bujo's confusion shows that we cannot always rely on our sense of touch to decide whether an object is hot or cold. Sometimes it may deceive us. Then how do we find out how an object really is? A reliable measure of the hotness of an object is the temperature. Temperature is measured by a device called temperature is measured by a
Yes.
device called thermometer.
Very good. So that is what thermometer. Yes, which Savi had also told. So there is a small activity they have told in which you have to keep a 3 mugs. One is very cold, one is hot, and one is normal. So you have to feel the water accordingly, and you have to note down the observation. Okay, so let us now come to the point of thermometer. As you have told earlier, that you cannot just sense and tell what exact temperature the body is having. So you have to use a thermometer. So there are two types of thermometer. So the first type of thermometer is nothing but the clinical thermometer, which we use specially for measuring the temperature of our body. Okay. Yes. Nashad, can you read now? Measuring temperature.
Yes, ma'am. Have you seen a thermometer? Recall that when you or someone else in your family had fever, the temperature was measured by a thermometer. The thermometer that measures our body temperature is called a clinical thermometer. Hold the thermometer in
I'm
hold
not able to hear.
and it carefully. If you do not have a thermometer, press
Can
the
you increase your
thermometer.
voice? Nashad, can you increase your voice?
If you do not have a thermometer, request a friend to share it with you. A clinical thermometer looks like the one shown in.
So as Nashad had told, she was reading that a clinical thermometer is as shown in the figure. So what it has, everyone, let me zoom. So it consists of a narrow, long, uniform glass tube, okay? And it has a small bulb at the end. Yes. Now what this bulb has, it contains mercury in it. So as soon as, see the black line, can you see the mercury? So the black line is nothing but, it shows that the mercury is moving, okay? So it is temperature, it senses the temperature and then it starts going further. So outside the bulb, there are some small tiny shining threads you can see, which through which you can observe the numbering. Okay. And now if you do not see the mercury thread, rotate the thermometer a bit and till you see it. So you'll also find a scale of thermometer. The scale we use is in degree Celsius. Okay. Anyone has any doubt till here?
No, ma'am.
Please underline this. A clinical thermometer reads the temperature from 35 to 42 degrees Celsius. So this is a very important point in terms of one day between will be 0.2. So it is 1/5. In this way, the reading is being calculated. Okay, everyone. Next, Savi, can you start reading?
Mom, from wash. Wash the thermometer perfectly with a antiseptic solution. Hold it firmly and give it a few jerks. The jerks will bring the level of mercury down. Ensure that it falls below 35 degrees Celsius. Now place the bulb of the thermometer under your tongue. After 1 minute, take the thermometer out and note the reading. This is your body temperature. The temperature should always be started with its unit degree Celsius. What did you record as your body temperature? The normal
Yes. Yes.
Mom, should I read? Continue.
Yeah. Continue.
The normal temperature of human body is 37 degrees Celsius. Note that the temperature is started with its unit. Let us try to ensure Pehli that there is nothing wrong with her.
Yes. So what they have told everyone. So you have to always keep the thermometer hygienic. So you have to uh, wash it with an antiseptic solution, and you have to hold it firmly, and you have to give few jerks. How you give a jerk? For example, everyone knows how the jerk is given.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So what will happen when you jerk? The mercury level will come to 0. Okay. That is, it will start falling below 35 degrees Celsius. Now place the bulb of thermometer under your tongue. So has everyone used this thermometer in the past?
Yes, ma'am.
So you all would be knowing very well. Yes. So 1 minute time is been kept under, and then the reading has been noted. So it has been noted under degrees Celsius, and the normal temperature should be 31 degrees Celsius. Okay, now you might be knowing, due to coronavirus, people, they when you visit to some places, uh, even after the lockdown or during the lockdown, so there is a temperature sensing device. Okay, but it reads in farads. Okay, the temperature has been calculated in terms of farad. So I'll just tell you what is Celsius. So when you observe uh, your temperature through that temperature device, you will come to know whether you have got the temperature. I mean, is your body temperature a proper temperature, or is it getting higher than that? So let me just tell you. So sorry, it is not farad. It is Fahrenheit. Fahrenheit it is. So farad is another. Fahrenheit is another. Okay. So your body temperature should be 98.6 degree Fahrenheit. Please remember, everyone, if wherever you go or if you observe any people, so slightly there is changes, like it will go up or below. But if you measure 100 degree Fahrenheit or more than that, a huge difference, if then obviously your body temperature is going to get increased, and then the siren starts ringing and you will be took aside for medical
Um,
reasons.
so, ma'am, 100 Fahrenheit is little higher. So, ma'am, in Celsius, what is higher for fever?
About 37 degrees Celsius.
Okay, ma'am.
So here they have told that body temperature of every person is 37. No, it is not like that. It varies. Okay, but it should not be an average. See, according to the climate season, your body is much hotter than that in the summer season, because our body provides warmness. Yes, it creates the warmness, not provides, but it creates the warmness so that we can protect ourselves from all the bacterias and from the winter, from the cold winds which are blowing. So you can protect your body. That is why your body should be uh, a bit at a bit with a small number. It should be high, like not too high. So if you sense your body early in the morning, okay, you can do this experiment tomorrow. Early in the morning, just when you get up from your bed, and if even if you're still in your blankets, you can just observe, you can just feel your body temperature. See, the body temperature is slightly higher than what it was at the night. Yes, because the body starts providing you the warmness, especially in this season, everyone. So you can just observe this. Okay, chalo. Yes, Pearl, can you start reading? Pearl is not here. Nishad, can you start reading? Nishad, I'm not able to hear you.
Ma'am,
Yes, Nishad.
ma'am, are you able to hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Ma'am, which one? Ma'am, actually your
From
voice
here.
is Ma'am, your voice is breaking.
Is my voice breaking? Is it okay
Yes,
now?
ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, the temperature of every person,
Mm-hmm.
the temperature of every person may not be 37 degrees Celsius. It would be slightly higher or slightly lower. Actually, what we call normal temperature is the average body temperature of a large number of healthy persons. The clinical thermometer is designed to measure the temperature of human body only. The temperature of human body normally does not go below 35 degrees Celsius or above 42 degrees Celsius. That is the reason that this thermometer has the range 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius.
Hello, Nishad, we are not able to hear you.
Not able to hear me?
Yeah, now it is okay. Okay, so yes, so as I have told, so the temperature of human, it should be between 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius. Then only you can see that it has a normal temperature. I mean, it is in between this only, 35 to 42 degrees Celsius. Okay, that is what they have told. Next is laboratory thermometer. So where we use the laboratory thermometer, if we want to check a temperature of any of the solution or water or any acid, yes, so we, or any chemical, so there we use a laboratory thermometer. So here, what the thing they are going to tell us is that whatever whatever the thermometer we use over here, you have to dip and you have to take the readings. While in case of clinical thermometer, you can remove it from the mouth and then you can check. Okay, why this happens? Because there is a pinch. So what happens? The mercury waits over here. But in clinical thermometer, there are no any pinch type of thing. It is plain. So immediately it will go to 0. For example, if it is from the
Ma'am, your voice is breaking.
chemical. Okay, let me rejoin. Am I properly audible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Nashad, can you transfer the host, Nashad?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so what I was telling is that the thermometer which we use in laboratory, it doesn't have a pinch. Okay, so this is a type of construction where it is done. Okay, so we are going to learn that in the further pages. But only the clinical thermometer, the reading should be taken inside when the thermometer is dipped inside the chemical. If you take out the thermometer, okay, in outside the whatever the vessel is, if you take out the thermometer outside the vessel or outside the apparatus, then what will happen? It will start going immediately to 0 and you won't be able to measure exactly. So that is why while using this laboratory thermometer, you have to dip into the solution and then only you have to take the readings. Okay, so that is what we are going to learn now. Yes, Savi, can you start reading?
Ma'am, from look at
Different types of thermometers.
different types of thermometer are used for different purposes. The maximum and minimum temperatures of the previous day reported in weather reports are measured by a thermometer called the maximum minimum thermometer. This thermometer, look at it carefully and note the highest and the lowest temperature it can measure. The range of a laboratory thermometer is generally from 10 degrees Celsius to 110 degrees Celsius. Also, as you did in the case of the clinical thermometer, find out how much a small division on this thermometer reads. You would need this information to read the thermometer correctly. Let us now learn how this thermometer is used.
Yes. So what is the range of this thermometer, everyone? It is minus 10 degrees Celsius to 110 degrees Celsius. Okay, everyone, please note this. This is very important and it is used only for clinical, it is used only for laboratory, commercial basis or you can say laboratory basis. So it is not used to measure the temperature of human body. Please remember. So they have just took a tap water in a beaker, and then they have dipped it into they have dipped the thermometer into that, and then you don't need to touch the thermometer. Why this? Because the thermometer will start sensing your body temperature, and your body temperature will be also considered while measuring the temperature of that particular water. Okay, so that's why you have to just hold it vertically. Yes, and by using some construction over there. Okay, you hold it. So by using just two fingers, you can hold it, and that too, it should be on the top. It should not be over here. Otherwise, the sensing device will start sensing your temperature also. So then there is a small experiment. You have to uh, do 2 to 3 examples, and then you have to just compare those temperatures with all, and that's it. Okay, activity 4.5. Yes, Nashad. Nashad, can you read? I think Nashad got disconnected. Okay, I'll read. So again, there is some activity. So in that, there is some hot water in a beaker or a mug. Okay, again, you have to take the thermometer and you have to dip it into the water. You have to wait till the mercury becomes stable. Okay, and then you have to note the temperature. Now you have to carefully take the thermometer out of the water, and then you have to notice what happens. So immediately the mercury starts falling to 0. Okay, so this means what? The temperature must be read while the thermometer is in the water. So this is very important, as I have told you all further also, like before also I have told you. So while taking your own temperature, you have to take thermometer out of the mouth and note the reading. So this is clinical thermometer.
Ma'am,
Yes, connected. So there is a question: why does the thermometer does not fall or rise in clinical thermometer when it is taken out of the mouth? What is the reason, everyone? So there is a kink, as I told you, near the bulb. Okay, so what does the kink does? It prevents the mercury level from falling on its own. So please mark this, everyone. This is a general question they are going to ask you. So can you see the kink over here? I've zoomed in. Yeah, so this is nothing but the kink. So because of the kink, the mercury does not fall. And this is an automatic sensing thermometer. So directly the temperature has been shown. You don't need to sit and calculate with using a calculator. So even whatever we are using right now due to coronavirus, so that is also a digital thermometer, we can say. So there are digits over here and it is going to directly tell you what the temperature is. Okay, next, transfer of heat. Yes, Nashad, can you start reading? Nashad, can you unmute?
hello ma'am.
Yes, Nashad, transfer of heat. Can you start reading?
Yes, ma'am. You might have observed that a 710 degrees hot pan hit on a flame. It is because the heat passes from the flame to the utensil. Ma'am, I can't hear the voice.
Yeah, Nashad, can you just speak a bit loudly?
Ma'am, is it okay now?
Yes, yes, it is okay now.
When the pan is removed from the fire, it slowly cools down. Why does it cool down? The heat is transferred from the pan to the surroundings. So you can understand that in both cases, the heat goes from a hotter object to a colder object. In fact, in all cases, heat goes from a hotter object to a colder object. How does heat flow? Let us investigate. Ma'am, should I continue?
Yes, continue.
Okay, ma'am. Take a root or flat strip of metal, say of aluminum or iron. Fix a few small wax pieces on the root. These pieces should be at nearly equal distances. Clamp the root to a stand. If you do not if you do not find a stand, you can put one end of the root in between bricks. Now heat the other end of the root and observe what happens to the wax pieces. Do these pieces begin to fall? Which piece falls the first? Do you think that heat? Ma'am, can you scroll down? Transfer from the end nearest to the flame to the other end. The process by which
Heat is transferred from hotter end to colder end of an object is known as
sorry ma'am, actually I
conduction.
didn't get it.
Yeah, it's okay. So let me tell you all this transfer of heat. So as you know, heat gets transferred from one end to another. Yes, it is very simple example you all can see every day in your home. In kitchen, if your mom keeps a pan, yes, and suddenly if it is removed from the fire, then what happens? It starts slowly and slowly cooling down. Yes, what happens as the heat it gets transferred from the hot pan to the environment and it start getting the coldness of the environment. So in this way the heat gets transferred to till what level? Till the level it gets matches. Like for example, it is too hot and it is too cold. So what will happen? These both will balance each other and it will be on same level. Okay, everyone.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
in this way it happens. Okay. So there is a process they have told over here. It is very important. So heat is transferred from hotter end to colder end of an object. That is what called as conduction. So here they have took a very nice activity wherein you have to keep the two bricks and you have to keep a rod inside it, and then you have to keep a candle and light the candle on. So and what happens after some times, the wax pieces begin to fall in this way. Okay, so you can do this experiment when you have time. So it will be a good learning for you. So heat is transferred by the process of conduction. So do all substance conduct heat easily? You must have observed that metallic pan for cooking has a plastic or wooden handle. So if you want to lift that pan, what you will do, everyone? You will touch to that wooden handle. You won't touch to the vessel. Why? Otherwise, you will get hurt from that. Yes, you will start burn. Your hand will start burning. So that is the reason why the handle is being kept over there. Next, activity 4.7. So you have to heat water in a small pan and you have to collect some articles such as steel, spoon, plastic scale, pencil and a divider. And then you have to dip one by one article into that hot water. Then you have to wait for some time. Okay. So if you touch to the other end, you have to observe that whether the heat is getting transferred or not. So metals which allow the heat to pass through them are called as conductors of heat. Very important. Means now tell me, if there is a steel scale and there is a steel scale and if I light it over here, will I feel the warmness to the other end? Yes or no?
Ma'am, no.
Why no? It is a
Ma'am,
steel. Steel is going to get heated now. See, when our mom prepares a tea, yes, so it is a steel vessel. Yeah, so a mom, what she uses, she use a type of she use a type of thing which will hold that vessel. Yes, the holder she uses to pour the tea into the cup. She cannot directly touch to that steel vessel. Her hand will get burned then. So steel is a good conductor of heat. Means what? It easily passes the heat. Whereas in case of pencil, it is made up of wood. Yeah, wood, it doesn't allow. Uh, so very easily it won't. So after some time, obviously, it will pass the heat. So, but not too easily. So wood is almost always a bad conductor of heat. Yes. So not so easily it is going to pass the heat. So they have told, for example, aluminium, iron, copper. If these things are there, obviously it is going to conduct heat. And materials who does not allow the heat to pass through them easily, those are called as poor conductors of heat. For example, plastic and wood. So please mark this paragraph, everyone. So the water and air are poor conductors of heat. Then how does the heat transfer takes place in the substances? So as you know, water and air, they are very poor conductors of heat. So you have to think that how the heat transfer gets happens in this type of substances. Okay. Next is a nice activity 4.8. Anyone has questions to ask me till here?
no, ma'am. No,
Am I
ma'am.
crystal clear till here? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. Savi, can you start reading activity 4.8?
Take a round bottom flask. If flask is not available, a beaker can be used. Fill it 2/3 with water. Place it on a tripod or make some arrangement to place the flake in such a way that you can heat it by placing a candle below it. Wait till the water in the flake is still. Place a crystal of potassium um mum mum how to pronounce this? Potassium
Pota- Potassium permanganate.
permanganate at the bottom of the glass. Gently using a straw, now heat the water by placing the candle just below the crystal. Write your observation in your notebook and also draw a picture what you observe. When water is heated, the water near the flame gets hot. Hot water rises up. The cold water from the sides moves downwards. The source of heat, this water also gets hot and rises. Can you scroll? Rises and water from the sides move down. This process continues till the whole water gets heated. This mode of heat transfer is known as convection. How does the heat travel in air? In which direction does the smoke go? The air near the heat sources get hot and rises. The air from the sides come in to take its place. In this way, the air get heated. The following activity confirms this idea.
Okay. So, yes. So there is a nice activity. They have told you have to take a round flask in a beaker. You have to fill it with water, and then you have to make some arrangement and keep the candle, burning candle below it. Yes, then slowly the water is going to start getting heated, and water near the flame, it is going to get hot first. Yes, and then it is going to start becoming hotter and hotter, and it is going to get rising. Okay, and then the water from the side, it moves down. So how it happens, everyone? So slowly it gets heated. Means what, everyone? The water from here is going to start heating. Okay, slowly all the months it's going to get heated and going up. The cold is going to come down, it's going to heat it and going up. So in this way, all the molecules get heated. Okay, and accordingly, complete water gets heated, and the heat is passed through the water.
Okay, ma'am.